Good morning and welcome to the Digital Coffee Facebook Live, all the digital marketing news you need to know this week. And as you can see, I've got quite a packed board this week. We've got Twitter news, we've got Facebook news, we've got Instagram news, we've got Snapchat news. And last night, some YouTube news popped in, and it's quite exciting YouTube news. It's very, very interesting. So I hope you will stay with me for the show. If you know somebody that might enjoy watching this show, please click the share button underneath and share this so that they might find out the digital marketing news too. And if this is your first time joining us, we tend to say hello. So say hello and let me know what your beverage of choice is for this cold winter's morning if you're in Ireland. I had coffee. It is the digital coffee, but most of the time I end up drinking tea. I had a stonkingly good cup of coffee. I drank it too quickly. I have none left, but I wanted to show you my amazing mug. Hey Sinead, hot chocolate. Oh, it's so cold, isn't it? Have you had snow yet? Do you want to see my mug? I'm quite excited about this mug. I got it for Christmas. Look, it's a Dalek mug. Those of you who know me well know I'm a bit of a Doctor Who fan, so I was terribly excited to get this for my Christmas. If you have cool mugs, you can always share a photo with me. I'd love to see them. Is that kind of sad that I love mugs? I've got a cupboard full of mugs. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it, Sinead? Right, I can see someone else has joined us now. Do let us know what is your beverage of choice for this digital coffee break. Here's the board. As I said, we've got some Twitter news. We've got 2 bits of Facebook news. We've got some Instagram news. Snapchat. I actually have 2 bits. Good morning, Kate. What are you drinking? I always feel like that this should be an evening pub thing, and then we could have something more interesting, but I don't think you want to see me once I start drinking. You want to see the mug? Kate wants to see the mug, for those of you that are watching later. I'm just not showing it off loads. Look at it. I got it for Christmas. It is so cool. Okay, I'm going to start off with the Twitter news. This is kind of interesting. It actually had happened before last week's Facebook Live, but I couldn't find a decent link and I couldn't find anyone verifying it. And then, of course, as soon as I finished the broadcast, there it was. And this is that they've started adding the Twitter check mark to the Twitter stream. Now, I've seen it in my mobile feed. When I went to try and find it on my feed on my iPad, it wasn't there. But what's interesting is now when you see tweets from people, you can see if they're verified. So here's my screen grab. No, that's not it. That's the right way round. Here it is. So you can, for a minute I thought that was upside down. You can see next to RTE Primetime there, you can see the blue tick in the feed. And this is brand new. This is brand new. We've not had that before, and it's interesting. So why did they do it? Well, first of all, whenever I see it, I keep going, God, I wish I had a blue tick. Will people not think I'm real because I don't have a blue tick? So are they on a mission to get more people to apply to be verified, to verify good users on Twitter? I must look again at thinking about doing it. I keep putting it off. And the other thing is, I suppose, with the advent of fake news, it becoming such a hot topic, President-elect said it this week, used fake news as a big thing in his press conference. So is this a move from Twitter? Yes, exactly, dealing fake news profile. But that means if you look at a profile and it doesn't have that blue tick, are you going to think that it's not real? So it must get verified. It's going to be interesting to see how that progresses. I like it. I do think it's nice because when I see that blue tick, I will expect it to be good information. But then we need to trust Twitter enough to make sure that they're giving that verified tick to the right people. If you remember a few years ago when Rupert Murdoch joined Twitter, they gave him the verified tick, and then somebody posing as his then wife opened an account and managed to get verified tick too because they didn't do due diligence. So that was a fake parody account, and there was a big storm at the time, and you know, Twitter can get it wrong. So they need to be trustworthy with those blue ticks if they're going to be giving them out to people. Thank you, whoever gave me the thumbs up. Okay, so on to the second piece of news. Oh, I'm going to give that one a thumbs up. I'm actually going to give it a thumbs up. And I'm going to give it a love heart too. Somebody else gave me a like. You can give me love hearts if you like. I like love hearts. So that's the Twitter news. On to the next bit of Facebook news, and you'll be able to tell. I can see a few other people have joined us. Do let us know who you are and what your beverage of choice is for this coffee morning. Some people are giving me hearts. I love you. I love these Friday mornings with you. So the next bit isn't such good news. It's Facebook and video. So we know Facebook are big on video. We know that's a big thing for them now. They've kind of, hey Eleanor, coffee for you. Coffee, I had coffee too, hence I'm all bubbly today. So yeah, they pushed us to using video. And Rachel, you've got tea. Very good. I usually drink tea, but today was definitely a coffee day for me. Sinead, I'm jealous of your hot chocolate. Right, so they've introduced videos. They've taken over our newsfeed with videos. They've encouraged us as marketers to push more video content. Woohoo! I'm just looking at a delivery van driving by. Now they're going to introduce mid-roll video ads. Hey Laura, thanks for joining us. You're a tea girl too. I think we're half and half tea and coffee at this stage. So, oh, I think Kate had tea. I think tea's winning. Mid-roll ads in Facebook. So you'll be watching a Facebook video and it'll cut out. I won't know until I've seen one for sure, but this is it. You'll go into an ad and then you'll see the rest of it. So you could be happily watching the digital coffee, not live, but if you were watching it in a record, and you'd be interrupted in that by an ad. Yeah, not good. Not good. Don't like this at all. I can see why they're doing it. They're doing it because space for ads is running out, and the news feeds and ad networks and on Instagram, they need to make more room for ads. If they don't make more room for ads, the price of ads is going to go up, and it's going to become inaccessible for small businesses like us. So they need to find this space, but are they compromising user experience in return for that? And in fact, are we kind of going full circle? We've come out of TV, we've started watching online video. One of the advantages of online video is we're not interrupted by those horrible ad breaks. And this is bringing them back again. This is us walking out of the room and making a cup of tea because the ads are on. So I'm not sure if I'm a fan. Do we get to pick the ads that will be played in our videos? I don't know yet. And that's the good thing about this, I guess, for content producers like myself, is that if they run an ad in your video, it's going to be a revenue split. You're going to get 55%. She looks at the postman, that'll go through the door. 55% of the revenue that they make from that ad. I'm imagining if it's like Facebook, we will be able to block sites. That's another key contentious point at the moment. We will be able to say, look, you want ads of this type to go on there. I'm hoping that they'll give us that option the same way they do with on AdSense if you run Google AdSense on your site. So it's going to be interesting to see how that progresses. Is this something that we'll just gradually get used to, our viewing experience being disrupted, or will people stop watching video because it's there? What do you think? Well, obviously, you know what I think. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Big thumbs down. Don't like this, Facebook. Sorry. Okay, on to news number 3, which I better look at my notes or I'll totally forget what it was going to be. News number 3 is more ads news, and this is from Instagram. And as it takes me so long to draw this Instagram logo, you know, I always sigh when it's Instagram news. I'm going to show it to you. I'm getting better at it, I think. So more ads on Instagram. Again, exactly the same reason that we're seeing more ads in Facebook, and they're trying to find new spaces to put those ads out there so that they can keep the cost low. Which, as I said, that's a good thing for us as businesses. If they limit the amount of space that we can advertise in, it's just going to become so expensive to advertise that we can't afford it. Interestingly, for those of you in Ireland, and everyone who said hi, I know you're in Ireland, so if you're not, I do apologise. Oh, Eleanor, you're not in Ireland. There was a chart out on a Buffer post this week about how expensive it was for click ads on Facebook and how it varied by country, and Ireland was right down on the bottom. We're getting a great price per click-through, particularly I think the most expensive place was Australia, and they're paying about like 3 or 4 times what we are per click. So either they're just rubbish at ads, or nobody in Australia clicks ads, or we're just fabulous at ads. So I'm just going to go with the fabulous one, even though it's probably the other way around. Right, so onto Instagram are going to start running ads mid-stories. So a bit like Snapchat. If you've seen ads on Snapchat, I never have, because I kind of stopped looking after a while. It became too addictive. But you'll watch a story, and between one story and the other story, they will place an ad up to 15 seconds, I believe. Yeah, I wonder, Eleanor, if people click ads in Hungary. I don't remember seeing it on the list, but definitely worth. I'll try and find that link and stick it at the bottom after we finish. So this is going to be more ads. I think this is far less disruptive than the Facebook ads. What's interesting is they made, or when they announced this, they made a slidey. Hi Simon, thanks for joining. They made a snidey mark about Snapchat, saying that this was the best ad option in stories or something along those lines, making a nod to the fact that they didn't come up with the ideas of stories. It's kind of interesting. Next bit of news. So what do I think about that? Well, you know, I can't get too excited about ads, so I'm going to give it a half and half. Not quite up, but not quite down either. It's not disruptive like what they're suggesting on Facebook, so we're going to go with that. Definitely not getting a love heart. Oh, Twitter. Tut. Twitter, my dear Twitter, this week announced that they're going to shut down Dashboard. Sorry, just seeing a comment from Sinead there. Luckily, you can click through the ads on Snapchat straight away, no waiting time. Does that mean that you're loading the page really quickly? I have more about Snapchat ads coming up, but that's interesting. They're not too disruptive then, Sinead. Oh, I see. You can click past them. Now, that's something you're not going to be able to do with the Instagram ones. You're actually going to have to sit and watch the 15 seconds. Again, a little bit annoying for the user. That's interesting to know, but obviously the revenue model is going to work far better if you're forcing people to watch your ads. And that also depends on how, and that's probably actually to do with the algorithm in the Instagram story feed, because unlike Snapchat, Snapchat is just there at the moment, although they're talking about algorithm. Instagram has an algorithm which stories you see first, and it's going to show you the stories it thinks you're going to be interested in first, so you're going to be keen to watch the next one, so you might hang on for that 15 seconds to watch the ad. And also, of course, it's only if they're good ads, people won't mind so much. It's the same with Instagram. You don't mind when you see a relevant ad there. If it's a good photo, it attracts your attention. I was going to rant about Twitter, wasn't I? Twitter had shut down Dashboard, are going to shut down Dashboard. If you remember, it was only 6 months ago they launched Dashboard, which was a different way to view your Twitter feed. You could go in, you could specify keywords that you wanted to appear first. I kind of liked it from a content discovery point of view. In fact, hi Emma, thanks for joining. I was looking forward, tell me if you've tea or coffee. I was actually going to be looking at Dashboard again myself, because I'm looking at finding more relevant content sources. I'm clearing out all the blogs that I subscribe to, getting rid of the ones that don't work for me. I could have a long rant about that as well. And I was looking for new sources, and I thought that Dashboard would be a good place to find that. But they're discontinuing it. It's kind of quick. Leisuplex. I don't even know what that is. Is that some sort of health? Oh, Lemsip. Emma's drinking Lemsip. For those of you who are watching later, I think it was an autocorrect that put something in first. I'm sorry to hear you're not well, Emma. So The problem with Dashboard is that they have lots of tools that seem to do the same thing. We've got TweetDeck, which you can use for search. We've got Dashboard. We've got Twitter Media Studio, which allows you to schedule from there, because that was one of the nice things about Dashboard. You could use it for scheduling. It was really aimed at businesses. You can even schedule from the advertising interface. And of course, there's loads of third-party tools that let you schedule and filter your feeds. So it wasn't really needed on top of that. What it was doing well is it was the way that if you're a business and you wanted to set up the kind of really cool customer service options that are now available, Dashboard was the place to do it from. So they're going to have to move that somewhere else. People are putting their money on it moving over to TweetDeck, which will be interesting to see. And yeah, it does seem really strange that one, they even launched Dashboard when they have so many different products that kind of do the same thing. I think they need to consolidate that, and I've said that before. And secondly, you know, why would you launch something if you're only going to give it a 6-month trial, basically? Okay, well, I go on to, I've got 3 stories left. I'm going to leave YouTube to last. So we've got a cross between some Snapchat news or some Facebook Live news. Let's have an S for Snapchat and an F for Facebook. And I'll just look at my watch. I'm racing through the news today. I should probably talk slower. Snapchat S, Facebook F. So I can see 5 of you are online. If I get half of you to vote, I'd be happy. S for Snapchat news. Snapchat news is S. We've got 1 S. We've got Facebook Live news, so it's 50-50. Just need 1 more of you to vote and I'll make a decision. S and F, Ema. You can't hedge your bets like that. Kate, are you still there? Give us an S or an F. F, okay, Facebook it is. So, you know what's really exciting before I go on to this news? I'm getting fibre broadband today, so I will no longer have to walk around the house with my dongle in the air, finding the best place on my internet to feed Facebook Live. So next week, I could be pin sharp. Eleanor's gone for S 10 times. Sorry, too late. It's going to be Facebook now. Actually, you might like this, Eleanor. I'm glad you're here. There's some Facebook Live updates. They've just come out this week. They're kind of cool. Last week, you may remember, I announced that you could now run Facebook Lives from your desktop. And I shared, if you look at last week's video, you'll see I shared how you can do that underneath the video. So that's going to be, that was live to me last week, but it was announced this week. So I was obviously on a trial for that. So yoo-hoo, I got something first. That's great. So that's the first thing that they're going to do, live from your desktop. You can do that. The second one is kind of cool. It's called Live Contributor. So that means if I wanted to hand over to one of you and get you to do my Facebook Live 1 week, I could do that without having to make you an admin on the page. And that's really smart, but because before, if I wanted to say hand this over to Laura there, she was the last one, I'd have to make her an admin on the page and give her lots of access to my page just so that she could do a live broadcast for me. Now I won't have to do that. I don't have this option yet, so I haven't seen how it's going to work, but I think this is really, really effective. It means we can get more guests onto our page. For me also, it'd be really cool to hand over this news show for the days that I can't do it, because I hate when I have a week off. I'd love the idea of being able to share that. The third bit of news is that if you do live from your profile rather than your page, you'll now be able to get insights for that video. So you'll be able to see how many people watched for how long. And I know a lot of broadcasters prefer broadcasting from their profile than their page. So that's going to be good for a lot of people out there. The fourth thing, and this is a really long link I'm going to say, but if somebody wants to go and test it for me and see if it's working, it's a permalink which leads to the video tab on your Facebook page. But if a video is currently live, when you go to that tab, it will be playing automatically on that page. So if anyone wants to give it a try and come back to me, otherwise I have to find someone else who's live. I might try it with Social Media Examiner later. You go to facebook.com/spiderworking /videos. Now that, when I'm not live, brings you just directly to the video tab. It doesn't bring you directly into a live video page with no live video. But when I am live, I should appear right at the top of the page. So if anyone wants to try that for me, I'd love to know if that's live already or if that's something that's still to be rolled out. And also you'll be able to cross-post your videos that you've already recorded. So this is something that you've been able to do with standard videos for a long time, but once you've got a video, you can share it with other pages rather than having to upload it separately. So I think these are good. But now, Eleanor, you're going to appear on my Facebook Live. I was scrolling through my feed the other day and I saw Eleanor. Here she is. She had been live. I think I'd missed. Yes, it's live. Thanks, Emma. Oh, that's really exciting. Oh, that's so exciting. I'll be able to share that link out now. Oh, I'm thinking of the potential of this. It's huge. Okay, so here's Eleanor. That's what she looks like. Hey, look at that. And she'd just been live. And you see underneath here, this isn't a new feature as far as I know. You can see underneath here, it says featured products. Or products shown. Sorry, it's backwards for me, so it's hard for me to read. Just underneath, and there's some hot links then through to her content, and that actually, after I clicked it, it brought me through to like a course she was running and a freebie. Thanks, Sinead. Yeah, it works. Oh, so exciting. Now, so I asked Eleanor, how did you do this? How did you make that happen? Because I want to do this. So basically you need to set up products or services, depending which you are, on your services tab on your Facebook page. And then you can add them afterwards. It is afterwards. Is it, Eleanor, or can you do it during the broadcast? Not that I could do that because I'm one person. And then you've got these clickable links underneath. So that's, you know, when at the end of this, I say, you know, make sure you don't miss an update, go subscribe to, because I've got a new page on my website for the Facebook Live where you can watch last week's one, and it's got to subscribe. So you'll get a notification an hour before by email to remind you to watch my live. So I can click that. I can put that at the bottom and you'll be able to click it rather than me just leaving it as a comment. That's kind of cool. And the final update then that they're doing is pinnable comments. So you'll be able to pin a comment from somebody. So somebody said something really remarkable or useful, which you all do. So how am I going to choose from all of your comments? You can pin that right at the top or the bottom of the feed so that people will see it. Afterwards, you have to add it, and that's interesting to know. I'm really excited about these updates. I'm really excited that Facebook is still putting a lot of time into developing this product. It's just going to get better and better. And last week I found out that if you have the Mentions app, which I don't, but this is for celebrities, that you can actually already do a lot of editing work, can do a lot more with your Facebook Live there already. So it's interesting. Are we going to have a full editing suite for our video within Facebook? A bit like the editing that we have within YouTube. Right, Snapchat. See, when I slow down the talking, I run out of time. Snapchat news. The Snapchat news is they are also, for the first time ever, I should have given all those Facebook tips a big thumbs up. They are copying Facebook. Yes, they are. They are copying Facebook. They are adding ads that are very similar to the lead gen ads on Facebook. So when you click the ad, it will auto-complete a form within that ad so that people can submit their details to sign up for something on a site. So that's quite exciting. That's a really big development. It's good to see that they are fighting back at last, even though obviously not a big Snapchat fan anymore. I'm more an Instagram girl, but it's good to see that they're doing something. They're going to be adding a better search bar to Snapchat. Haha, have you heard the news regarding search? This search bar isn't going to be yet giving you the opportunity to search for users, which is the thing we really want, because that's the downside of Snapchat. It's really hard to find people to follow unless you use something at the external tool like ghost codes. At the moment, this search bar isn't really doing anything that you can't do somewhere else when you're searching for stories, or you're searching for people or searching for groups, it will appear on the main screen, which is interesting. So when you're actually creating a snap, you'll be able to find it there, and you'll be able to search for people you want to involve in the conversation or whatever. It's going to be interesting to see how it progresses. I beat you to it, Eleanor. And my final bit of news is the most exciting one at all. As I said last night, little Periscope popped up on my phone saying, "This is the biggest news ever on social media, ever." I'm not sure I'd go that far, but it's really interesting. YouTube have entered the live space, which is really interesting because in some ways, YouTube popularized live because we had Hangouts going on Google Plus, and it was probably the best thing on Google Plus. And we had Hangouts on air, so I could have done this there. There'd be little U's underneath that I could see. But then they discontinued that, and the on-air bit, and now we've got live on Facebook, which is harder to do. You need to go through a third-party tool, which is why I don't do it. Bandwidth, computers, etc. It wasn't working for me. However, they are becoming really popular, and they found an interesting way to monetize it. This is what's happening. So when this girl is live, if I comment, I can pay for my comment to get pinned to the top so that that YouTuber sees it. And the more I pay, the longer it stays up there. None of you would pay to get your comment at the top of my feed, would you? So there's different ways I can see people using this. One, maybe they just want to spam. They want this kind of advertising. They want to promote their thing. The second thing, maybe they want to build a relationship with that vlogger. And if there's hundreds and hundreds of comments, one way to get noticed is going to be able to pin it there. The other one, which makes me a little less sure about it, is stalkers. Somebody's stalking you. Well, I guess you can block them from your page, but you may not have noticed before, and they'll want to pin it right to the top of your page. And I don't mean stalking as in being a fan. I mean kind of, you know, scary stalking. You know what I'm talking about. So that's the downside. The nice thing for us as creators, again, it's nice to see us being rewarded for this, apart from obviously I don't do it for the money, is that there'll be a revenue share with YouTube people. Love to hear what you think about that. I'm not sure it is really the biggest bit of social media news ever, but it's definitely an interesting one. Okay, that's all my news, but before you go, I have created this wonderful page on my website, which I think 4 people have ever visited. If you go to spiderworking.com/Facebook Live, as soon as I finish, I'll be embedding this there. I'll always have the latest show up there. If you miss it, you can sign. Now, the sign up form is a little bit clunky at the moment, so if you do click the submit button, I will get your submission. It just doesn't tell you that. I'm working on that, but it means you'll get an email. That's the only list you're going to be added to. You'll get an email telling you when the next Facebook Live is, giving you an hour's warning, and you'll get a link as well to where you can watch it later. So go over there and sign up if you'd like to get notifications. Do click the share button underneath if you know anyone that would be interested in this social media news. And thanks for joining me. Thanks for all your comments. It's been lovely to see you. I'll see you here again next week. Goodbye.